Joining me now is an undefeated heavyweight fighter who takes on controversial former NFL player Greg Hardy at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series Week 16 on August 7th in Las Vegas. It is Tebaris Gordon here on the program for the very first time. Tebaris, how are you?
I'm doing fine, man. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for taking the time. Just literally less than 24 hours after this fight was announced by ESPN's Ariel Helwani. Now, let's talk about it. Let's sort of dive in right away. Was Greg Hardy at all on your radar before finding out you'd be actually fighting him?
No, not at all. I'm always the one just fighting whoever they say want to fight me. Any promotion that calls back, we got this guy, I always would just say yes and just fight that person. Greg Hardy really never crossed my mind, but once they offered him to me, I jumped on it.
How did you find out about this fight, and how did it really all come together?
My manager, he hit me up, and he was like, we got Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, and it's looking like it's going to be Greg Hardy. And that's all he said. And as soon as I heard that, I said, let's do it. My coach agreed. Everybody, all my teammates, like, yeah, let's go. And so we signed that contract.
How long ago did you find out about the fight? About a week ago, more or less?
It was around a week ago.
Okay.
It was around a week ago. Mm-hmm.
When you got the call, were you familiar already with Dana White's Contender Series? Have you seen it before? Have you watched it, or was it, I guess, like a promotion you'd never heard of at the time?
I heard of it. I hadn't watched it yet. I just always would catch the highlights people put on Facebook and stuff like that. But I hadn't really got to watch it, but I have heard of it.
Since finding out about your involvement, have you gone back a little bit and read about it and sort of seen what it's all about, or not really taking the time quite yet?
I still hadn't took the time, man.
Okay.
I've been grinding in the gym, just trying to get ready.
Right. There's not much time. You have less than a month. Was this okay? I mean, as far as it being a little short notice, you have just over a month from when you found out last week sometime. Taking it, on a month's notice, is that fine?
Oh yes, it's fine because we try to stay prepared at our gym. We just always ready. You just never know when you get a short notice fight, and you just got to always be ready to go out there and compete and try to go out there and get these wins.
Do you know when the UFC plans on flying you out to Vegas? Because usually they do so ahead of time to do like interviews and get your do the photo shoots and all of that, so they can have it ready to go for fight night. Do you know if you're going out to Vegas in advance?
I haven't heard anything as of yet. Like I said, they just broke the news about the fight, and UFC haven't got back to me about the itinerary for when I need to be down there and all those other things. So I'm just waiting on that call so I know when to get down there.
Gotcha. What has the fan reaction and the media reaction been like? Because I mean, I'm sure it's just getting started because the fight was just announced less than 24 hours ago as of the afternoon of, what is today, the Tuesday, July 10th. Like, I hit you up last night asking for an interview. I know you've already done one, maybe even more interviews already, and I'm sure it's just getting started, and I'm sure the attention will grow as the fight gets closer. Is any of it overwhelming yet?
It's not overwhelming. I'm not used to it, but, it's not overwhelming. There's been a lot of messages coming in, asking for interviews, and there's a lot of random people messaging me, saying that they want me to beat Greg Hardy. They don't like Greg Hardy, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting a whole bunch of friend requests. It's different, but I'm enjoying it.
Is it easy to adjust to? Is it easy to get used to?
I mean, so far, yes. It's not. I don't think it'll be a problem. But like I said, I'm just enjoying it. I'm just taking it as it comes, man. I'm enjoying it right now.
So my understanding is that you yourself have a background in football, so that makes the Greg Hardy fight kind of interesting, considering he's a former NFL player himself. What exactly is your background in football? I believe you're an assistant coach now. Did you play yourself?
Yes, I played. I played up to I went to college. I went to Grossmont College, in San Diego, California, and I stopped playing there. But now I coach at the old high school where I actually played at, and I'm the assistant running backs coach right now. And those kids, they absolutely love the fact that I'm a fighter. And ever since they heard the news yesterday, they've been getting on me pretty good. So practice is pretty fun today. You know, half of them think, oh, he played in the NFL. He's gonna beat you. The other half is like, nah, I coach the best in the world. Blah blah blah. So it was just fun. It's been fun.
Why do you no longer play football? Is it just a matter of you couldn't make it to the next level, or did you get an injury, or do you just enjoy coaching? Why did you not make it, I guess, all the way?
I came back because I had my son. My son was born, and so I came back to start working and take care of him. And I just never went back and finished playing, so I just started coaching.
How do you pay the bills? Coaching, is that, do you make, do you pay the bills? Is that your job, or do you have something on the side?
Yeah, I work at my dealership with my brother. It's actually my dad's dealership, car dealership. Okay. So I work there. That's it. Other than that, I train and fight. So,
what do you like better, fighting or would you ever play football again? Could you ever play football again? Is that an option still?
Probably not. It's probably not an option. But if it was an option, I would definitely go play football. That's always going to be my first love. Yeah, if I had that option to go back and play, I would. But I absolutely love fighting, and I'm just trying to get better and better and better at it, man. Just see how far I can take it.
How did you transition from football to mixed martial arts? Of course, it's a sport, but it's quite different.
Yes, I was sitting at home, and I have a ex-high school teammate. He called me, and he was like, I need you to come and help me train for my upcoming fight. It's like, a fight? I don't know anything about MMA. And he said, just come in. You're the same size and height as the guy I'm fighting. And so I went and worked out. I did his whole training camp. Man, it was probably like a month and a half before he took that fight. And, man, once I started training with him, I absolutely fell in love with him. Like 4 months later, I had my first amateur fight. So the transition, it was different because you got to get in a little bit different shape than you would for football. So it was different, but I loved it. I loved everything about it.
It sounds like it was a quick transition. It sounds like you fell in love really fast.
I did. It was like once the first day I was like but I stayed with it for like the next week or so, man. After that, it was just like, I'm going to train today. I'm about to learn how to do this. I'm gonna learn how to do this. I think I want to fight one day just to try it out. And I went to my friend's fight, and that was it. And once I seen that was my first time ever been to an MMA fight. So when I seen that, I was ready to go. I said, this is what I want to do.
The fact that you are fighting in not the UFC in your I believe this is your fourth pro fight, correct? You're 3-0 now?
Yes, sir.
And so the fact that you're fighting not in the UFC, but in a UFC-branded promotion in a fight that could give you a UFC contract with an impressive win over Hardy, is this all sort of coming earlier than expected? You could be a UFC fighter 4 fights into your pro career.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shock to me. My coach and my teammates, they always tell me, like, man, you one of the best in the world. He said, when you want to be the best in the world, you are the best in the world. And he said, your time is coming. He always told me that. My coach always told me that. And to watch it come 4 fights in is amazing. And like I said, I still don't think it hit me yet. But like it's just amazing that they called me to have this fight. And like you said, if I can go out there and beat Greg Hardy, beat him impressively, maybe I can get my contract. And man, that's what it's all about. That's what we all do it for, to try to get to the UFC. So I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity.
This news about fighting Greg Hardy in just a little under a month, when do you think it will sink in, or will it?
I don't know. I've always been that that person that, stuff does. I don't really get excited like about a lot of things. Like I don't let it show. I like to keep everything in. So I mean, I hear like all my friends, they're posting like on my Facebook, like they're so excited. It's like y'all are more excited about it than I am, and maybe I should be this excited, but yeah, I just don't think it hit me, and I hope it hits me soon. But like I said, I'm just gonna take it like I take any other fight. I'll prepare the same. I'm just gonna keep working hard and grind out every session, make sure I'm ready, and just go out there and try to put on the show.
Now, this is almost certainly the biggest stage in MMA you've ever competed on. It's on UFC Fight Pass. Dana White and the UFC matchmakers will be in the building. It's at the very famous Tough Gym in Las Vegas. Can't get much bigger than that besides the UFC. Do you expect to be nervous?
No, I don't think I'm going to be nervous. It's weird because I used to always watch like the Ultimate Fighter shows, and I was like, dang, I bet it'd be fun fighting in front of all of them. And now I got my opportunity. It's just like you said, I figured I'd be nervous and all that, but I'm not a really nervous person. So, I just go out there. Just going to go out there and fight. That's what we're doing. It's a fight. It's nothing to be nervous about. We're going to go out there. We're going to throw leather. We're going to have fun doing it. So that's my mentality. That's how I've always been.
Well, as you mentioned, how crazy is it, like, watching The Ultimate Fighter in the past, 15 years, not quite 15, but 13, 12 years, whenever you started watching Tough, and then, obviously, a super popular show, not as much now, but it was back in the day, and now you'll be fighting there on a different promotion, but not in The Ultimate Fighter, but still the same Tough Gym. How crazy is it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said before, it was something that, I always said I would love to fight there, and now it's like, you're fighting there in less than a month, and it's like, I'm excited. I just don't know how, I just can't show it, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ready to get there and see it in person, and just to enjoy my time out there. I've never been to Las Vegas, so this is, this is going to be great.
I was actually just in Las Vegas for the DC Stipe card this past weekend, and that was my first time since I was 5 years old, so I can tell you firsthand, Vegas is a great place. Didn't get to see much of it, so hopefully you can sightsee a little bit after the fight. But yeah, Las Vegas is great. Hot, but great. Do you feel like there's not much pressure? Do you feel like there's not much pressure, on your shoulders going into this fight, even though you're after what the exact same Greg Hardy's after, a UFC contract, fighting in the UFC heavyweight division? Do you feel like there's not much pressure on your shoulders because he's the known guy, he's the former NFL player, he has the controversy, he's the big name? Do you feel like you don't have all that much to lose here?
I do. I have everything to lose. I don't consider it as pressure, though. I don't really think about all that. I just try to go out there and fight. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to fight this guy. I know he has the big name, and if I beat him, it's, I feel like it's going to be the main topic of a lot of things because, of course, of his name. So, some people see it as pressure. I just see it as opportunity. And that's just how I'm going to take it. I'm just going to take advantage of the opportunity and try to go out there and beat him and just go from there. To me, he's just somebody in the way of my dream. His past and his name and all that, it doesn't matter to me because on August 7th, we go get in there and fight, and he's just another person.
Now, of course, a lot of people are not in favor of Greg Hardy competing in Dana White's Contender Series, competing in the UFC, competing in MMA in general, just making money off of a sport. We all know what happened, what allegedly happened back in 2014, the domestic violence charge, all of that. Even you want to bring up the drugs, a couple of years ago. You said you don't really care about it. Do you think Greg Hardy deserves a second chance? Are you okay with him fighting?
I believe everybody deserves a second chance, man. He did what he did. He's lost a lot from it. He started training another sport and he got really good at it. And he rose fast, and he's making a name for himself in another sport. What he did in the past is what he did in the past, man. People deserve a second chance, man. He's trying to build his name back up, trying to build his reputation back up, man. I actually applaud him for, trying to do something different and and he's trying to change his life, and I have no ill will towards what he did.
That's interesting. So even as his opponent, you feel no resentment towards him as a person, as a athlete, anything.
No, man. He just like I said, he deserves a second chance. Like I feel like most people do deserve second chances, and he's paid for his mistakes. I feel, and here he is. He's back at the top, getting his name back and trying to go to the UFC. So, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about him.
Fair enough. You don't have tons of time to prepare. You have about a month until you have to fly over to Vegas for this fight against Hardy. There's not much tape on him. He's only had a couple amateur fights, and of course, his first Contender Series win was his pro debut. How much tape study of him do you plan on doing?
I usually don't study tape. I just go out and fight, and I just try to win in every aspect of that fight. I don't really get in the tape because you really never fight the same person. Fighters are constantly growing and getting better, and I just go in and fight. I really don't look at much. If my coach look at it, and he'll come and tell me something, we'll work on it. But I usually never go on YouTube or anything like that and search and look at how he fights and all that. I just go out and fight and try to win in every situation of the fight.
You mentioned that you've never watched a full Contender Series card before. I'm sure that'll change, considering you're part of it now. But did you see at least a highlight of his first fight of his pro debut? And if so, if you did see it, were you impressed?
Yes, I did. Like my friends, a lot of my friends, they always saying it. They're like, "Oh man, Gary Hardy just knocked this guy out," and I looked at it, and I mean, yeah, it was a good punch. I was impressed. And moved around pretty good, and you could tell he got a lot of power in his hand. So, yeah, I was impressed. It wasn't much to watch, but I was impressed in that short amount of time.
How do you see this fight playing out? Just on August 7th, just under a month from now.
I see me knocking him out and getting my UFC contract.
Awesome. Tebaris, I think that's the way to end it here. Thank you so much for taking the time. Before I do let you go, remind my audience where they can find you on social media. And if there's anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
All right. My Facebook, I'm under Boom Gordon. And my Twitter and my Instagram is Boone Gordon MMA. It's all one word. And I would like to give a shout out to all my family and friends. They've been behind me from my first fight all the way to now, and there's more and more people coming, man. I like to thank all of you for being there for me. My coaches and my teammates, man, they are the world of me. They keep my spirits up, man. We grind hard. Everybody's getting better and better and better. I absolutely love my gym. Gym-O in Gastonia is the place to be. And my sponsor, Just Heart Apparel, thank you guys. Main Event Apparel, thank you guys. That's really it.